Alright, so I'm here in the world that I made that Minecraft house over there, and while building it, I was thinking, what if I made this, but a lot bigger? So I ended up doing that, exactly that. So for this build, I'm using two types of concrete, white and gray, then two types of wood, not acacia, never acacia. I'm using one type of colored stained glass pane, and grass. First off, I'm going to start with a 10 by 10 square of the white concrete. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. So we got a little 10 by 10 square here. So next we're going to have a rectangle of the gray concrete. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks this way. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then we have these two squares here. Then right here, we want to make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 long line, leaving two spaces so it's symmetrical. Then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to bring this line here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then bring this over here down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now bring this out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then complete the square. So now at this end here, we're going to have another one of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, leaving 3 on each side. So I'm bringing this out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And bring this out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And to the side, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then bring this all the way down. And here again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 6 long, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3. That, yeah. So 6 for these, 11 for these, and just complete the hallway. So over here, bring this down 2 blocks. Then on this side, you bring it down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So then going down here, you want to line this up with another section of the house. So when we get down here, I need to look. I want to line it up with that block there. So that makes this 20 blocks long in total. And then connect this up. And now for the last section. So over here, we're going to bring this out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks, leaving a 2 block gap here. Then the other side here, bring this out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we're going to bring this down 23 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That's a lot of words. And then just complete the square. So now once we finish this, we'll be done with the entire template of this house. So this is all the rooms that are going to happen. So let's start where it all began with this type of cushion. So I'm going to put a column up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks tall. Build this whole thing around. Just complete the box up here. And we only need one column on this one. We're not getting too rowdy. So now over here, we're going to build this up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks tall to overlap. And then bring this whole ring around. We can put a column here and finish off this part of the build. Then this is a transitional hallway, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then you just want to complete this whole box. We're not going to remove any columns or anything like that, not anything fancy, it's just a box. Over here I'm going to put a column up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and start filling in this box. And around here we are not going to have any columns unless they're in transitional hallways. And we can put a column here and fill in the rest of this. Down this transitional hallway, we're going to build this up again 5 blocks. Fill in all the columns and all the supports and everything on these corners here, like this. Just build this across. We're not going to be connecting these two, that's fine. And just finish this off here. So we're going to have this looking like that. Then over here, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring this across. No column here. Bring this all the way back. Back here, I'm going to put a column. And then bring this all the way back, complete the box. And just do the same thing here. Column here, 6 blocks tall. Bring this across. Column here, 6 blocks tall. Bring this back. No column here. No column here. And finish. So now we've got some concrete laid out, and that's mostly all the concrete that we're going to have in this build. So now with the wood, you have to choose one to be your outline and one to be your fill. So I recommend using the darker one as the outline, but it doesn't really matter. It's just personal preference. And you're essentially just going to fill in all of the squares with this type here on the outline. And if there's weird overlaps like this one, it's your choice to see whether it goes like around like this or just stops. And I personally don't care, so I'm just going to wrap it around like this. And here do the same thing. And this is a very formulaic part of the build, so just get a lot of wood if you're building this in survival. Although unlike my last modern house tutorial, this one is not recommended to build in survival because it has not much functionality. Like the other one, like you could make it a base, you could have like big storage rooms and stuff. This does not have that much space for that, but you could, I guess you could make it work. But this is a much more decorational build and just kind of building it to have fun. God, my block placements have been really off. I'm just tired. Oh, this part is almost as tedious as the next part. But once you're finally done with this, you can get on to filling it with the other type of wood, which might take longer. I personally am going to use the fill command for most of it, just because it makes it easier. So fill in this hallway like this. I'm going to slash fill this section. Oh, yes, 2 for 2. Then finish this room off. And with this room, I actually do have a suggestion here. So when I was building it, I saw this is the perfect type of spot to build stairs down to a basement. So I'm actually going to do that in spirit, even though this is a super flat world and I don't have room for that. But just know that if you really wanted to, you could build a basement going down here. And I'll just fill in these walls. And if you really wanted, you could just make these the stairs down to like a study, a basement, chest room, dungeon, something like that. But with that, you're done for the wood on the floor. So now I'm going to build up columns. In every single corner, you want to build up these wooden columns. And sorry, I forgot about this. On these intersections here, you do want to build up the gray concrete. I can't believe I forgot. I built that house. It's right there. So then just keep filling in these columns. And then fill it in here. You don't want empty windows like that. And fill it in on the sides here as well. So this room should look like this. Same thing on these hallways. Same thing in here. And this is a very tedious process. It's the same for every single room. So like I'm essentially giving you an equation here of how to build your own modern houses like this. It's just a ring with the concrete, pillars with the wood, and then interesting composition. So this transitional hallway is going to have a bunch of them, and you want to fill these corners like that as well to not make them look awkward from the outside. And once you're done here, here is a spot that I was originally designing for like a patio pool area. So if you want to build that, you can just make a doorway in this hallway here. And just keep doing the pillars. I wonder how I'm going to edit this. There's just going to be a lot of me right-clicking furiously. Yeah, there is a lot of that. But now, once we're done with this section, I think that's all the pillars in the house. So it's looking a little bit weird, but then we're just going to ring around the rosy this whole business. Fill in the ring on the top as well, like the bottom. Then just on the top here, fill in the ring. Here's the same, filling in this like box type. Just gotta go to town with these. Alright, now this hallway too. This is a very messy hallway without these here. And then here in this corner here, we're going to connect this like this, giving this a sort of box in vibe like that. Same thing back here. I'm also going to have to cut most of this out, just because it's very repetitive. So I'm sorry for that. Bring this back here. And now with this room, we finally finished all of the rings. So this is looking a lot neater now. Not so sporadic and random. And then you guessed it, you fill in the second type of wood like this. There's a lot of that to do. So starting with this room as always, just start filling it in. And again, just like last house, I recommend getting a good auto clicker because that just really helps. It just speeds up the building process, and once you get good at it, like, just building becomes much faster and easier in creative mode. And there's absolutely no shame in using an auto clicker in creative mode. Survival mode, maybe. So here we're going to leave this alone for a skylight. And then with this, I'm just going to do the fill command. Also, look up a tutorial on how to do the fill command, because it's so nice. It's really easy as well. Sometimes it does stuff like this, where it's really wonky and it doesn't actually get the coordinates right, but it's easier than having to fill in that whole space. Then I'm going to leave this hallway alone as well for skylight. And we just got to fill in these two rooms, so I'm going to use the fill command again. Yeah, that one worked well. And we've done that. Just realized I forgot to do the 4 here. Yeah, do that. So now you got this whole space done, and you can do with these rooms whatever you want, but I have to start filling in light. So let's just get end rods real quick, and we can get some leaves as well, because these look really good. So if you put like 2 end rods like that and then leaves in the middle, it makes this sort of plant type thing that looks really nice in houses. So I just do this for all the door frames like this. And if you don't have these materials in survival, don't build with them. It's not worth it going to the end to get all these end rods to place in all these corners that I'm doing it. It's just so many end rods. You can just use torches. If you really want the full style of the house, you can, but just don't feel pressured. And just do it for all of these hallways. So now we're done with that, we can start filling in other end rods like this one here I'm just going to put, and that just kind of lights this spot up. Then I'm just going to put end rods in all the corners, like so. And I don't think, not even all these end rods are going to light up the space perfectly, but like, again, lighting is not my strong suit. It's not really part of the design of the house, so you can figure that out as you go. If you want to make any of these rooms smaller than I did them, fine by me. This is a formula, not a strict build. But now back here, we're gonna finish all the end rods like this, and we're done with those. And now time for my least favorite part, the glass. So I'm gonna actually get some glass blocks as well, because as I mentioned before, these transitional hallways are gonna have skylights. It just cheers up the hallway a little bit more. And now when you're walking through it, what? It's doing it here too? Okay, well, my Optifine is glitching out doing whatever this is, but hopefully that shouldn't happen to you. Either way, ignoring that, I'm just going to fill in these parts here, do this for this door, and just fill in all the glass panes. Glass panes are a pain to place. Really? You had to say that. But in survival, they save so much, like, so much sand. And then in creative, they just look cool. I think it's just going to be a running joke that whenever I make a house, I'm just going to groan whenever I have to do glass. Oh, and the glass panes are doing it too. Hey, I fixed the glass thing. Alright, well now that that's over, just continue filling in all the glass around the house. But then once you get to this hallway here, just put in glass only on one side like this, just filling this all in like that. And on this side, you're going to cover it only like this in a doorway, and this is going to be the entrance into the house. And I guess I'm going to put these here as well. So after we're done with that, I want to make this patio here a thing, so let's replace these end rods real quick for some lighting blocks of your choice. I'm gonna go shroom light. Here I'm gonna actually put a column just so I can like give these shrubs a place to start and not just kind of like go into nothing like that. It looks really odd when you just do that. Like it just doesn't work. First off, I'm gonna line this whole thing with lights, and then I'm gonna put the shrubs on top of it, the leaves. Now we have a little outline for our backyard patio, whatever you want to make out of this. So now my original design was a pool, but again, you can do whatever you want here. You can put like an art sculpture or something like that. I'm not going to tell you what to do because it's just a little backyard area. And if you want, you can do that for like multiple spaces, make multiple doors out here like that. You could back alleyway, you could put like a trash can in here. Just some suggestions. Every spot in this is customizable. Every room can be whatever you want it to be. But my job here is done. And my job was just to tell you how to build the basic house. I did not finish this here. Now it's done.